Hey guys, welcome to the finale recap of Celebrity Apprentice. Yes, it's been a long season. Yes, they started out with a buttload of celebrities and now they are down to 2. They're doing it live. The final 2 were Clay Aiken and Arsenio Hall. At the beginning of the show, they had this Mario Andretti showed up. And they CGI'd him driving Donald Trump from Trump Tower to the Museum of Natural History. It was all pretty cheesy. I'm sure it was very expensive though, so it was good then, right? Yes, the Museum of Natural History, so Donald can join all of the other dinosaurs. Alright, let's talk about Team Arsenio. Last time we left off, he was in some deep doo-doo. His video from Magic Johnson was all effed up. Magic Johnson was turning to the side for most of the video, but they did find some usable footage, a few seconds worth, that they used. Adam pretty much took over the task, and he wanted Paul and Teresa to be in the show too, but guess what? They're just reality stars. They don't do anything except exist. So he had to write some jokes for them. He wanted to turn the whole thing into a roast for Arsenio, but Arsenio said no, it's, it should be about the charity, it's not about me, which was the right thing to do. But people were not showing up on time for the event, and that was making everyone really nervous. His whole event turned out to be a comedy show that was somewhat very adult. And Whoopi Goldberg was his date. I'm sorry, I don't really like Whoopi Goldberg. She rubs me the wrong way. It was a raunchy comedy show, and there was bleeps galore, and that's just what made the edit. I can only imagine what didn't make the edit. So now let's talk about Team Clay. Alright, he was having some problems with Debbie Gibson. She wanted her cousin or somebody in her family to do a mural on one of the walls, and Clay didn't want to do it unless he could see a sample of her work beforehand, because he is the project manager and his name is going on it, and ultimately he's the one whose neck is going to get chopped off if it doesn't go right. So she was getting all bent out of shape about the whole thing, and then she finally got an email with some pictures and he was like, oh, okay. So his whole thing was a carnival theme, and everything was getting set up and it looked really good, and the muralist finally came in and they were working on the mural, but you know what? It was freaking huge, so it was all hands on deck. They even had Teller there working on the mural. Clay put on a garbage bag over his suit and was painting. They really, they had to get everything done. Everybody pitched in. Aubrey, of course, was pissed off because she couldn't be in charge, and when it comes down to it, Clay has got to give the final word. I'm sorry, because I've seen people fired for that before, so Clay's peeps, when they were arriving at the show, were sending in some major donations. And I was surprised because in the previous episode, he was all like, well, let's get this task done and then raising money is secondary, but he had some big donors coming in there. Lisa even contributed to his show and hired a drag queen dressed as her to deliver the check, which I thought was really cool, and it spoke volumes. So the carnival was fun. It was a musical show, musical variety show. Dee sang and Aubrey sang and Debbie Gibson sang. As much as I don't like them, I thought it turned out really well. They also had a magic show, the old Cup and Balls by Penn and Teller, which was really good. I love stuff like that. So, back to live. The Scrubs showed up, and we find out that Lou had some ear surgery. I guess he had like a cochlear implant put in, and now he can finally hear without a hearing aid for the first time, which is fantastic. And I guess he gave 110% because he raised, I think he said $41,000 for his charity. A lot of people's charities, they raised more money for them after the show was over, after people had watched the show air, because it raised awareness for it. So, you know what? Everybody's a winner. And nobody liked Aubrey and Lisa. Shocker! Who would? They're horrible. All right, and Cheryl Tiegs didn't even show up. I guess she was doing anything else. Then the higher level scrubs arrived on the scene. Aubrey is now blonde, but she's still wearing the control top pantyhose. Her legs were so shiny, I couldn't believe it. I think if she would have crossed her legs a little bit harder, she would have split those seams on those pantyhose like a cheap hot dog in a microwave. Sorry, just saying. And I was shocked to find out that Lisa Lampanelli is only 50 years old. That's only 3 years older than me. Scary. All right. I hope I look half as good as her when I turn 50. So it's boardroom time. Happily, we find out that whatever money has been raised by each team is kept by that team's charity. So that's cool. Arsenio, well, he raised 167,000, and change. But Clay, he freaking raised $310,000. That is pretty amazing. Yeah, so Clay and Arsenio arrive. Trump asks everybody who, well, not almost everybody, who he think, who they think should win. And that was totally pointless because depending on what team they were, they pretty much stayed loyal to their team. So it was just a time waster. Then Clay and Arsenio perform. And I'm thinking, when they were teasing it, I was like, what are they going to do? Because Clay's a singer and Arsenio is not. And they both came out and sang Lean on Me. And I was I was like, wow, Clay's way better than Arsenio. It's kind of unfair in a way, but I guess he couldn't come out and do like stand-up, I don't know, or whatever it is that he does. Sit behind the desk and drink coffee. Then Trump gave the final 2-second interview to Clay and Arsenio. Why do you think you should win? And, it was, again, BS. It was like, well, I came in second in American Idol, and my mom's in the audience, so I think I should win. He did give a better first part of his answer, like, I thought I was creative and blah, blah, blah. I really, really, really thought that Clay should have won. And that Arsenio should not have won, because freaking Arsenio won. Of course, the Trump kids were no help either. They were just like, Dad, it's a tough decision. Do what you want. And I can't believe that Donald picked Arsenio. I was just really shocked because I thought by Lisa donating to Clay, that spoke volumes, and he raised more money. And generally throughout the show, I thought that Clay was more of a force in bringing his team to victories, although he didn't always win when he was project manager. I mean, sometimes it's not going to happen depending on who's on your team, and his team changed quite often. So, wow. I'm pretty shocked that Clay did not win, and I'm going to have to say that I'm pretty disappointed as well, but congratulations to Arsenio, and they both raised money for their charity, which is the important thing, but I think it's kind of like the Joan Rivers season when, the other lady should have won, but Donald and Joan are kind of like friends, so Joan Rivers won. It is what it is. It's Trump Town. All right, so kids, till next season, much love.